What's up? My name is Tim Stoddard. Thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject, and that is data. I guess the first thing to discuss is whether it's data or data. Because sometimes I say data, and then I go, I wonder why I said data that time, and then other times I say data. And then I go, why did I say data? Anyway, look, for some historical context, measuring data has not always been my strong suit, but 2019, I made a commitment and I've been giving it a real shot, and I gotta say, it's changed everything. And if I could give some of my own experience to maybe help some of you guys who still watch some of my videos all these years later, it's worth doing. It really is worth doing. So here are some kind of quick guidelines to get a better understanding of your web traffic, some of your KPIs and conversions, and kind of use that to get a better understanding of like what I kind of call site behavior. You know, your website as a whole, your brand as a whole, whether you're talking about social media channels or email marketing, open rates, just the behavior of that channel in total is what I've always kind of called to myself site behavior. So if you're just getting started and you're not really sure what it is that you're looking at, I'm just going to go over 3 important metrics that I think everybody should measure right from the get-go so that you can, like I said, get a better understanding. Number 1 is just site traffic. If you don't know how to hook up Google Analytics, reach out to me, I'll show you. It's very, very simple. Site traffic can be deceiving because more traffic doesn't always mean that you're performing better. I'm a big advocate that the right traffic is the most important, because if you're attracting the right people to your website or your brand, you have a much better rate of conversion, which means that like you'll do less work and make more money, which I think ultimately is the goal. So with that being said, you need to have a good understanding of your site traffic so that you can provide some context to your conversions. So number 1 is site traffic. Number 2 is your ratio of traffic to conversions. So the first thing you have to do is you have to measure what a conversion is. I'll use Stodzy as an example. For me, number 1 conversion is a phone call. If somebody calls me inquiring about my services, I'm very, very confident that I can close that deal and bring in some new business. Number 2 is a contact form on the website. We give away free audits. We give away just free consultations on like what I would do if I were working with you, and then it gives me an opportunity to kind of pitch my services. With that being said, that's like my second tier of value on conversions. If somebody's calling me, they're ready, they're primed, they're in the mode. If somebody is sending in a contact form, it's usually because they're like kind of tinkering with the idea. So I'm moderately confident that that will close into a sale and a new client. And then third is like an email just sent to me directly. People respond to these videos, they respond to my blogs, and I'm always thrilled to get them. I love interacting with people, but in terms of like that converting into an actual sale, you know, the least confident, but I'm always excited to get them because it does provide new business and it grows my brand. So, okay, so we have traffic, we have conversions, and out of that conversion, we need to know our ratio. So you need to know your conversion percentage. That is really important because if you archive that conversion percentage, you can get some historical context. So let's say that if you look back at what your site traffic was a year ago, let's say your site traffic like tripled, but your amount of conversions stayed the same. That means your conversion rate went down, which means that the traffic that you're getting is less valuable. You see how not more traffic is always best? Sometimes you're spending a lot of time and a lot of energy writing blog posts, creating content, getting visitors to your site, And all of that time and energy didn't actually turn into anything because you're getting the same amount of deals that you were a year ago with a third of the amount of traffic. So with that, the third metric that I personally like to measure is revenue per conversion or revenue per hit. This is especially important with e-commerce sites because if you're selling a product, it's good to kind of back into what your CPA is. So you know you have a general understanding that for every hit of traffic that comes to the website, you're making like 10 cents. You know, let's say that you're selling products for $100 and you average one sale per every 100 hits. So that means every single site visitor that comes to your website is worth $1. That's like a really, really important distinction to make because that will give you the full encompassing picture on how valuable your traffic is. So why does this all matter, right? This matters because we only have a certain amount of resources to market ourselves. And let's say we dump $10,000 on like a real social media push and we get a ton of traffic that comes through and we see that our traffic went up, our conversion rate went down, and our CPA went way down. That means that traffic does not make you money. But let's say that you're spending a lot of time in SEO and you're getting a lot of inbound leads to your website. This traffic is usually very high converting because people have searched for your service or your product, which means that they are looking for you. They're already in the right frame of mind to buy whatever it is that you're selling. But sometimes there's a limited amount on search volume that you can get. Let's say that you're like the #1 spot for the top keyword that you want to get. The chances are very low that all of a sudden the search volume for that keyword is just gonna like times 10. Right? So you can measure that, you can back into your CPA to say that every hit of traffic that comes from this particular keyword is worth this much money. But you're capped out. So you have to know that because you can't say to yourself, you can't look at your overall picture with just site traffic and conversions and get a good understanding as to how much value that traffic has. If you're capped out on search, then you got to find somewhere else to go. You got to experiment with a new marketing channel, and you're never, ever, ever going to know what direction to go unless you know your data. It's so important, guys. It's so important. God, I wish I spent the last 6 years paying attention more to this kind of stuff because I think I would be probably like twice as far ahead as I am now. And I don't have any regrets by any means. It's all a learning process because throughout this time I was learning other skills and measuring these kind of metrics and these KPIs is just the newest thing that I'm learning. But if I were to start all over again, if I were to teach somebody how to grow a brand and market a website, I would start with knowing how to put buyer personas and conversion rates behind your metrics first. That would be the first thing, and then I would teach people how to get traffic to their websites because you're going to be able to make better decisions knowing what you know from the traffic that you have. If you have any questions with this, please reach out to me. My email is tim@stasi.com. Really appreciate you guys watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.